Hello. So I can hear myself speak. Audio looks good on my side. Bit rate and frames good on my side. Keep not struggling. I think we are pretty much ready to get started. Sure, oh, medium. But that's not too much. All right, we want to get into our belt in bed today. So I've got a bunch of stuff in front of me. You guys partially see, probably not everything, but really happy with the results we got out of the XY motion system on the last stream. I think Chris from Living Room Workbench was mainly the person in here with me when I was working on this, but actually Steve dropped by for a little while from Steve Builds, the Voron team, and then Tim or Timit dropped by as well, and they gave me a little guidance, but everything's flowing real well. I don't have any like really bad racking problems in terms of the X gantry going back and forth and fine. So really pleased with that. That was a little bit of a worrisome thing, but now we move on to another slightly worrisome thing, and that is getting belt installed. So you get 3 meters worth of belt, and it takes approximately 1 meter for each of the A and B belts. So we should have plenty of belts. These are true belts according to the listing from Formbot. But yeah, I'm sure you guys can see or read it. Camera somewhere there's some text. These are actually hoping all that much there, but yeah. So let me get it brought up, brother. And I know I should be able to get the belts done. Whether I get them attention or not, I'm not sure. But hopefully we can get into bed and then possibly some of the toolhead stuff as well. That's what's sweet. And so, Voron belt path. Voron printers use a belt path based on the popular 4XY pattern. Individual belts are stacked on top of each other, and crossing often found in 4XY design fitted. Compared to many other implementations, motors are less in true position, that being back and rifle. Learn more about 4XY. I think equal belt tension is important to the proper function of 4XY. So you can see the outline of how the belt has to go. Audio is choppy audio. How do I do that? Hello, David. Connector's okay. I'm sure the mic is pointing straight at me. Turn up the mic a little bit, and I can possibly also turn down the NVIDIA. Is it the microphone audio or just all audio in general? Sounds great now. Okay, cool. But yeah, you can see here the blue path. So we're kind of coming out of the tool head for this left belt. Like noise cancellation is kicking in. I can turn that down a bit. You go to filter. 0.93, I'm going to put it on 0.85. Check. Hopefully the audio isn't as choppy. Chopping ends off sometimes. There's some like There's some like attack and gain settings I can possibly play with, but I haven't touched anything, so that's a little disconcerting. Actually, there isn't any. It's just the generic. I do have a limiter on here. Sounds good again, don't worry about it. I'll try to be very clear and enunciate. Hopefully, if I don't murmur as much, it won't cut it off nearly as much. But we need to prepare our tool head first. I've got that print somewhere. That's this guy. And we're going to put 2 M3 hex nuts in it and 2 heat sets. Let's switch over to overhead. We need to pop this thing out. Go. That was just a built-in piece of support material, and then there's a little bit of a little hanger on her. Just want to clean that up where that came off. How are you doing tonight, David? Are you up from a nap, or are we pre-sleep? That is going to help us. This will mount this way. So this is where the tool head is going to connect and the belt's connected as well. I'm trying to make sure I keep everything on camera this time. About to go to bed, actually. Yeah, unfortunately I haven't been able to get the streams going early. Maybe something I can work on in the future. Is it picking up a little bit more background noise now? I can see the mic's moving a lot more for stuff like that. So 2 and 3. Then we need heated heat set insert. Alright, so let's get those in and connected. Soldering iron plugged in. Now we're gonna need frame for a little bit. Get this guy set up there. Today I was watching Steve build. He's a member of the Voron team, building a Trident Pooch, who I've known for a while. And he had this really crazy heat insert rig by it's designed and sold by Naomi Wu from Sexy Cyborg. Her handle. I've seen the light on the soldering iron. Can hear, but that's not distracting. Hello, Renovic. How's it going? Were you in Steve's stream earlier today, watching the Trident build? You insert. Yes, you were. I think I saw. Oh, yeah, we chatted a little bit, I think, or at least I saw you chatting. Pretty a long stream. They went for like 4 hours. That guy in there. Yeah. like to hop out, jostle anything at all. Aren't quite flush, go down a little bit more. This guy out of the way. Almost got hit in the face by my own. So what's next? Insert V2 insert. Just slide in somewhere here. I think I've said it a couple times, but I've been really impressed with these parts from the PIF program. Alliteration aside, the parts have been really, really well, high quality. Everything's put together really, really well, and I don't think I would have had it as easy of a time as I've had getting this put together if these parts weren't so well put together. Alright, so got those two guys in there. The next step is so they say to put these on beforehand, but I've watched Steve build several V0s and he tends to not do so until he also tends to not cut the belts right away. We're gonna try to follow with Steve and Steve. So what I've noticed he likes to do is run the belts before you cut it, get all the distance that you're gonna need, and then cut that one belt, pull it out, and match the second belt to it, and then cut both the belts. So he kind of does like a little bit of a dry run. He also likes to make sure that the text is going to be facing the correct way when it is visible. Understandable. And the main rule is that you need to make sure that when the belt goes through one of the two pulleys, it will have the teeth facing out. So like if it goes around this way and in here, I think that's the correct orientation. So we're gonna start here. And I'm going to run around this first pulley. Like, wondering if it's going to be helpful. Switch out the camera. Yeah, that might be helpful. I need to get this to pass around inner pulley. Actually, what I'm going to do is not go around the pulley first. I'm going to go around the spacer and then slip it up and around. This is my first Core XY machine. So this belt path is kind of still a little semi-magical to me. I'm going to use a little screwdriver to help it. Alright, so I've got it around the little fingerprint spacer, and I'm just gonna Let's slip it up and around the bearing. Go. This will come around front, around that idler, all the way around the side, and then we'll need to go into the side where it will start to connect the motor. Just a random question. If you had a limited budget, what 3D printer would you buy? I think right now I'd probably go for a 5-tool Prusa XL. Just because it's 4XY, it's gonna have 5 tools. It's gonna be using the extruders, I think, which is pretty cool. I don't know, so just off the top of my head, I think I'd go with that. Put this up around there. So what I did was pushed it up through this top portion, looped it, got it to go out, and then I'm just gonna pull it somewhat hot, then slip it back in around it. Now we're going all the way around the back. And at this point, we don't go back up to the front idler. We just go in to the tool head, and we just want to leave it somewhat hot. So in here, just cross over the belts a little bit. I think Steve said he likes to have about 3 to 4 inches of overlap. That looks all right to me. Double check. Not actually on this idler here, but link should. What about yourself, Renovik? What would be unlimited budget? All right, so we're gonna cut it. Doing it. Flush cutters cut right in one of the grooves, and hopefully that's enough slack. Now I'm gonna leave that guy just kind of hanging out for a little while. No, we're actually gonna pull this completely out, and now we want to match up the length of 2 belts. And we can do that by first untangling the belt. And we're going to match up teeth so that they're about as close as possible. And now we're going to basically do what Manuel said, which is kind of run down the length, teeth staying meshed, hopefully. It's actually a little bit more challenging than I imagined. Just trying to keep the mesh together. Through the entire length, and then when we get to the end, we will cut the second belt to the same length. It would be interesting to have an LDO V2.4 with belt for continuous printing. Possible tool changer mod. There are higher end machines, which I don't know a lot about. There is that belted 2.4 mod, right? Or was that a belt? No, it couldn't have been a belted Trident. It had to have been a belted 2.4. I think at Rocky Mountain, Rep Festival, there was a belted. So we should be exactly the same length on the 2 belts. Meshed. Turn back down. And BR. One might be 1 tooth longer than the other. I think it'll be okay. So now I'm going to rerun that same path we just did. Making sure that we keep each belt vertical. Can't have upside down text on the print. I think that would be a very interesting build. I know we've got some Tridex and other IDEX printers. Is there a 2.4 with IDEX on it? Has anybody done that? I know there's a dueling tool head setup, I think. That bolts up there. Through. Up in. Yeah, just did a. Hey, have a good night, David. Thanks for stopping in for a bit. Yeah, just did a quick search and a couple people have done IDEX before. Okay, I need to look that up because I haven't seen it yet, but it makes sense. All right, so that belt is run. Everything inside of it's bearing correctly for now. Second belt, which is just kind of doing the same thing on the opposite side. Let's see where the text is. This way. This time we're running along the bottom. Renivik, have you seen the dueling ones? The dueling tool heads where it's like two different gantries that kind of move out of each other's way? Those are pretty interesting. So same thing on this motor. We want to go up. Oh, wait, go around the bearing. Up through here. Swoop it. Pull down. Get everything riding correctly. Teeth on this belt is much further down. There we go. That's the same length. Ride around here, skip the belt. Right here. Pull everything to about. That belt is so much longer. Did I use the wrong length? I used the wrong length of belt. I used the one that was cut off and not the one that matched. There's your problem. I know there's the dueling 0 for P0, but is there one for the 2.4? I think there's a, it might not be a 2.4, but there is one for a larger printer, I feel like. Or maybe it was a printer for ants that did it. Hole. The hole. How's that? Yeah. could have been making that up, Renovic, but I felt like I saw on somebody's stream they were kind of clicking through and looking at some more crazy looking printer for ant builds. Somebody showed off a larger format. Second belt is a little bit harder to get started. First belt, play. Hey Chris, welcome back. Thanks for hopping in. So we've got the motion system completely done, minus the belts, which we're doing now. This is my first Core XY machine, so things are feeling a little bit foreign, but I've watched Steve do a lot of builds. I watched Steve do the Trident build with Pooch today, so I feel like I can somewhat follow what they did. But it's pretty cool how the mechanics work. Fun and a little magical seeming at first. So I'm doing the exact same thing I've pretty much just done on the other side. Going around here. Go around this idol. Here. Go up and through. Get back down. Out. Push all the way down to where the actual picture is. Keep around. Go around the final idler. Back in. Both to make sure everything riding on the gears idle fully the way that they should be. So what I saw Steve do was take the tool head. Now we can get our M3 peanuts. And what are the hardware that it says? 3x8 flat. 3x8, still loving this hardware holder from Formbot. This is going to mount like this. We're going to feed like so. And then we need to pinch them down. Like that. Which might be easier said than done. What have you been up to, Build? How's your, or Chris, how is your build planning going for your not a Voron? Love that name. Get the screw started while it's holding the belt. Try to get it threaded into that nut. It started straight. Parts ordered will probably be here next week. Okay, so mostly sounds like planning is done. We're gonna cut these flush, and what I've seen a lot of people do is like pull it taut from both sides, but if we're gonna cut it flush, shouldn't we just start with it pretty close to flush on this side? So I'll have two teeth sticking out from both of these. In my head, this is like a good idea, but I'm not sure. Good idea in practicality. I'm having trouble with this nut not wanting to stay square. It's wanting to turn when I screw into it. That's better, but then we lost. Two teeth showing on both sides. So I'll just have to cut off those two teeth. It might be a little hard to get the other belts fed through here, but I'm learning. I'm learning by doing and possibly failing. The funnest way, in my opinion. Alright, so now we need to get these two stuck. Which I've also seen people recommend cutting into a little chevron here. Should be plenty long. So now we've got a nice pointed tip. Try to pass through. Shimmy, 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 shimmy. Shimmy, shimmy, yo, shimmy, yeah, shimmy. And I've got some needle nose. How to get that pulled through. I'm doing something drastically wrong, let me know. Save me a little bit of time and embarrass. Maybe not embarrass. Pull that through just enough. And I will do the same with this guy. I'm semi-following what the instructions say and semi-following what I've seen Steve do on multiple tools. I'll do the same with this guy. Okay. Through. Very hard to do this in such a way that you guys can. So are you gonna continue to keep the name not a Voron, Chris, or are you gonna maybe update it? You need to find some like personality of the printer and try to decide on the name that way. Grab pliers. There we go. I have no idea what to call it officially. I want to get it built and working first. That makes sense. I feel like after you have it kind of working, if you didn't already come into it with an idea and a concept of like what it would be named based off of the form factor or anything, then it makes sense to me to like get it working, maybe get a revision in, and then based off of kind of what you find the printer is good at and doing well, kind of name it off of that, or just name it anything random that you want. The really, really cool thing about it being your printer. Alright, we still have about 2 teeth sticking out on the other side. Maybe and I'm going to tighten them up for final. Final time. And I need to get them kind of moved over a little bit so that I can actually get the second nut in there. Well, that's taking actually a fair bit of force too. So I just want to make sure that that's, you know, perfectly up and down so that we can take our second T-nut and our second screw. Hopefully I left myself enough slack in the belts. Get him started spread. This thing just to see. Okay, get that started. Now I think I want to start to pull them reasonably taut such that we can get that mounted. But let's check back. Construction. So in a somewhat roundabout way, we've done exactly what we did it a little bit out of order. We ended up approximately at the same spot. So turning the belt, stir the belts through X carriage like so. Or running the belts into knobs are loose as possible. I did do that. I saw Steve do that today on stream. The motors are as far to the outside as possible. I did that as well. So I loosened up these 4 screws. You guys probably can't. Yeah, I loosened up the 4 screws that control the motor tensioning, and so they're as far outside as possible. A is on the bottom and top. Like tying your shoes, but worse. Red belt A to the printer, belt A, below belt, flat side of the belt shoe. Making contact with only smooth surface, but part of the belt should be touching plastic. I think we have that working reasonably well. Not tight, obviously, so some of the belts might be kind of coming off a little bit, but I think the belt paths are all correct. So Chris, did you have any goals for the build? Like when you were kind of coming up with the concept, it seems like you knew you wanted it to be Core XY. That seems to be the state of the art right now. Like form factor and size, did you have some specific goals that you had in mind for that? This goes in and around the pulley. Yeah, it goes ba, so that's B, that's A. So A is on the low side. Did that second high side. I like the idea of being a V0 size, but way quicker, easy to build. But yeah, it's almost like a weird gatekeeping. I don't want to say gatekeeping, but it's like the use of this specific maker beam seems to make the V0 like pretty difficult to build. The fact that you can't use slide-in nuts or drop-in nuts. The design is a bit finicky. So like an easier to build V0-esque printer probably has a market, I think. Securing the belts, get those pinched in. I got the second bolt tight on an exterior entry. So that. 2x6s, and you want to use some Loctite. I like small printers, and they get a bad rap. They can be very useful. One of my favorite printers, the Monoprice Mini, that has the same build volume. One advantage of small printers is leveling is super easy. Leveling is super easy, and if they are enclosed like the V0, they get heated up very, very quickly. Small bed, relatively small volume. So like, I know some people were like, oh, I built a 350 millimeter V4 or V2.4. And he wanted to print one small part, and it's like, oh, I have to heat soak everything for 40 minutes just to print like a small part. So yeah, there's definitely some advantages. A lot less power required. Very, very true. So we need M2x6 socket head. Let me get out my trusty handy dandy stick of thread locker. And I'm gonna thread these in. I think I can probably put these flatheads away. And we got one empty container. So they only gave you exactly how many Baker Beam T-nuts that you needed for the Formbot kit. But assuming you don't lose one, you should be okay. I've been using these kind of RC style drivers, and I'm liking them way more than any of these small bits I have for kind of like this powered driver, and any of the bits I have that are kind of the 1/4 inch that can work with the LTT screwdriver. These just hold on to the nuts so much better, or the screws so much better. They don't strip them out, and you can really feel like you can torque them down without worrying about stripping out the head. So I'm sure, you know, like Wera and the other Bondhaus brand drivers are really, really good, but these are also very, very inexpensive. They're like RC car drivers. Renovik. I agree, most people getting small printers probably have larger printers already, so most people print their large printer parts on another machine. Chris, right? And people say 90% of their useful parts can be printed on a small volume. Yep. I completely agree. I do have an application for some larger printers, and I would like to build a larger Trident and/or 2.4. I print some sim racing stuff that would be very useful to be able to print in one piece, like button boxes and control boxes and stuff like that. But yeah, those are like a specific use case. So. Right, once we're done. What do you guys feel about use of thread locker with ABS parts? I've heard some people note that thread locker can have adverse effects on this particular type of plastic. I haven't seen anybody do any kind of significant tests, but I like this little glue stick. It's not as runny as some of the different types of thread locker. You can get about as much as you want on there, wipe off any excess really easily, and just have enough blue goo to get the screw screwed. Ran out of rhymes. Enough blue goo to get the screw through and screwed in. All right, we have all of those in and connected. Our belts are still a little loose, so the motion's a little rough right now because stuff is slipping, but I assume we'll kind of handle that. Chris, I haven't heard of that. Also, I wonder if it depends on blue or red thread lock. Blue is less permanent. I'm not sure. I just know in several of the videos I've watched, Greg's Maker Corner has mentioned it. I think Godbot mentioned it. So it comes from somewhere. Whether it's like kind of one of those wives' tales. We need some people to do some myth busting, perhaps. All right, so that is relatively clear. Or oh, here we go. It says it here in the guide. Certain types of thread lockers can embrittle ABS plastic. Keep thread locking compound in contact with metal components only. Very little amount of clay. Clean any excess with stamp towel. So there is some kind of, according to the Voron team, there is some kind of proof that this has been the case. So belt tensioning. Use a tuning app on your smartphone. Measure the frequency of the belts. The answer is in a fixed position. The X always clear of the transfer. Lock the belt. 100 hertz on these locations. Inside belt. On one side. You need to rerun the belts because front eyelet here. Belt tension. Cool. Belt tension is important for function for classes. Belt tension with belt motion. Small sizes of zero paths are hard to higher compared to larger printers, mainly due to short belt runs and belt people. Trim the belt's final lengths. Mount you depends on hot end flush mount. Hot end flush the X which flush better. Belt's complete, so we just need to get these tensioned in, which is something I've been a little bit worried about, I'll say. So it is interesting, like when you move a single axis, you can feel the resistance of both the motors, if that makes sense. And it feels heavier than you would expect. But then if you go diagonal, it moves a lot easier because basically only the one motor spinning. So I guess that's the kind of cool part of a Core XY. You always have two motors controlling the movement of the head. Even if this one isn't spinning, it's probably torqued up, so it's holding and controlling its belt pretty well. Guess you can also like pull one belt and it goes diagonal. Really cool motion system. But let me double check and make sure everything's riding well. Now that we tighten the belts a decent amount. Not notice any racking issues. I'm gonna move it all the way to the back. Coming in contact with the back on both sides. It's really cool though. I like playing with it. So we want our belts to be pretty equidistant. We want them to be equally tensioned. Right now they're pretty loose. And they feel loose everywhere, so it's not like it's getting bound up anywhere that I can tell. I've heard a lot of times you can tell if you're not going around an idler or a gear well, it'll be oftentimes way tighter in one individual segment. You want to tension should be pretty equal everywhere. Then also tapping the belts should kind of jiggle the kind of head to way. Yeah, figuring out the X and Y movement with two motors is fun in 4XY. Counterintuitive. Yeah, I've watched several videos kind of describing it. And then this, you know, like front idler kind of open front is a little bit different than a lot of the Core XY systems I originally saw videos on. I'm not sure if it was Rat Rig that initially came up with this kind of form factor, because a lot of them used to have belts that ran around the front too, I feel like. Alright, so the thing I'm not sure about is they don't really mention where you want tensioning, like, oh, well, they show the motors are all the way at their inside position right here, or their outside position, and they say with them that way you want to be around 100 hertz. The X-axis. Oh. E3D's big box predecessor to the tool changer, I think, had that set up. Okay. It's really hard sometimes to trace back the derivation of particular motion systems and stuff. But I think I can put these guys away. I do want to go ahead and tighten down. All four of these. Do them in a cross pattern. Never mind, looks like theirs was more like the Ultimaker. So the Ultimaker, is that an H-bot style? So I do have a tuning app down. Not sure how well it's going to work. All of it's back. Giving me -32. But it's picking up my voice pretty well. But it's not really picking up on the belt. Maybe they're just not tight enough. One, two teeth, one. That's a fair bit tighter. That will help. Not really picking up any. There's a lot of slack out. Just aren't tight enough for the resonate at a frequency that it'll pick up. Oh, it wasn't on hertz, it was on some other scale. I think this is just way too loose. Bottom belt. Oh, I probably need to tighten them. How to get them, tighten them and then tighten it down a bit. Have you heard of the category of motion system called HBot? Okay. It seems to be fairly consistent. Let's try the other side. $13. 141. Oh, that might be in my voice. Like, was that actually picking up on it saying that it's 130? I need to pluck a little bit more aggressive. I'm just not getting readings sometimes. Like maybe 110. That's getting 144, which is way higher. I don't know, maybe I should try a different app. Or I can also take my phone out of the case. Microphone's getting blocked. Try a different app. No, I don't want to sound generous. Renovik, are you still here? Have you seen any particular apps that people have used for this that seem to work well? No, 7, 6, 6. Okay. This one seems to be a little bit more. So does that mean that this one is Tighter? Tighter frequency would be tighter, right? Maybe loosen this top one by 1 notch. Oh, notch. So right now I have the idlers or the tensioners at their loosest setting. Do I want to do this whole pitch stuff at that loosest setting and then tighten them? Or do I want to leave them loose? That's what I didn't really get, guys. Or should I try to move the belts to like a middle position? So that I have tuning room. Right now I can only tune tighter. I can't tune looser. Does that make sense? I would think I would want these like somewhere in the middle, so that if one is looser or tighter, I have room to like go in either direction. I think getting them pretty well before you mount everything is fine. Then tighten the motor after you over. Not too tight at first. There. Fairly loose. Just make sure they're not totally loose in the carriage mount. Also helps stretch over. Get them around, maybe around 100. Call it. Top one. That seems way. Both of them are. I guess when I loosen it, they can both come a bit. I don't know, this all seems like black magic. I see people tapping them, people using a phone app. That one's 109. 48. It just always seems tighter if I tighten. So weird. I feel like I could sit here all day not being able to. Seems like an area of like time spent. It somehow got looser. Trying to hold it tight. Both of them are at ish, I think. So if I tighten them up, I can hopefully use the tensioners in the back to go around what they want. Oh. $111. Well, we got like 108 and 109. I'm good. Right. Sure, these are tight front. And I'm ready to cut. Hey Steve, how's it going? I was just going through the belt tensioning process. I watched you and Pooch do it today on the Trident. So they recommend it be 110 hertz. So between pulling them and using the belts a little bit, now they feel tighter. Now they're at 127 after I tighten them down. 130. Hurts a lot. I don't know, how important do you feel this tuning to a specific frequency is? And I'm still a little bit foggy on whether I should be tuning to this frequency such that the belts are at their loosest or somewhere in the middle or their tightest. One day you'll compare your by feel method to frequency tuning. I don't have anything to gauge against. I feel like my my old Creality printers probably aren't tensioned correctly from the factory, let alone the typical maintenance I do. Now, as soon as I tighten these down, I feel like it's gonna get a bit tighter. That happened last time. I mean, should I even spend all that much time trying to get it perfect now? Even is more important. 115. 110. Even though it looks like one of your test prints has been through a tornado. Okay, if it's got a little twist and lean to it, it's probably due to uneven belt. Okay. I mean, there's some give to them. I think I have everything routed well in terms of being on their pulleys. They're definitely not like so stiff that I can't depress them. Not sure if you can see how much bend that is. I'm not getting any funky racking. Oh, that really moves the camera around a whole lot, right? So I feel like if I just loosen these up, they'll probably be close to what yours are. Or this can be a good experiment. I'll leave them this way, run some tests, and I'll see how this turn out. I can pretty easily just like loosen up the mounts right now and let them fall back to their default. I tried to make sure these were even in terms of like the number of teeth. That makes sense. On the stream, Steve, did you mention something about trying to have the idlers in their middle position? I'm making that up. So that the screws are kind of towards the middle of the allowable movement path, as opposed to being to one side or the other. Like the motor position in terms of tensioning, do I want them to be in a particular place when they're kind of in this state? You don't think that matters much? Okay. I think I spent too much time on like Reddit looking at people's belt tension posts. Like people talking about how specifically flat their beds are. They're not losing. Good. I think if at what's the proper at the extreme end of adjustment, I just have no more room. Think short. That feels decent amount. Much easier for me to kind of depress them in and touch that other belt on the other side. All right, I think we're good. I'm gonna cut the belt. Unless you guys tell me I've messed something up. So you got, was that dinner or lunch with Pooch after the stream? Probably lunch, a late lunch. You guys started at what? Late morning, right? Like 9? Right. 10 a.m. Pacific, that's right. Alrighty. On to the bed, I think. Heat set inserts into little. Inserts oriented bed. Looks like we can maybe move the frame away for a little bit. And let's get bed out here. Only thing I'm worried about is connecting in this thermal fuse and the best way to do so. But I've heard you don't want to solder onto the thermal fuse because you can actually cause it to pop. But I'm not sure. And then I also have the Kirigami Bed mod. So let's get these heat set inserts put in. Of them. Oh, that's a little overexposed. Does the Formbot kit come with extrusions for the stock bed mount, or does it only come with Kirigami? It only comes with the Kirigami bed frame. The only 4 short extrusions it has are for the top hat. So I think some kits, like maybe, did the LDO at one point come with both the extra extrusions and the Kirigami? I'm not sure if that's true or not, but the definitely the Formbot only has the Kirigami. And I think they were happy about that. It's they charge like $5 for the bed if you want to buy it, just that off the site. So it doesn't seem to be a particularly big expense for them. I know some people tend to do all of their heat set inserts kind of at one time before the build. I thought about doing it that way, but I was worried I'd miss some and then I'd have to break it out anyway. Probably a good way to prepare to know like what the different parts of the build are. Going through the manual once and getting everything set up, and then undoing it, or going to begin to actually assemble stuff. That's done. Alright, so let's take a close look at this bed, see what you guys think of it. They listed as mix 6. I'm not super familiar with what that means. This is the back surface. See some machining marks on it. And this is the top surface. I'm really kind of blowing it out. It's got a very slight chamfer on it. Just like it's not a round over, it feels like an actual chamfer, just enough so that it's not sharp on any of the edges. Not the prettiest finish. I got some fingerprints on it, but okay. I put these little marks on it to know where I want it to mount the bed. So I guess we can try to dry fit things. This is where the thermal fuse mounts. The bed will go here. And the thermal fuse will mount here. So we need to come out of one of these into the thermal fuse. And then the thermal fuse will go into the Wago underneath Kirigami bed, I believe. Then this one will just cut short, and that will go into Wago as well. And then this one will essentially come out. So my big thought or worry is exactly how I'm going to get these two mated up together. Because I've heard you don't want to solder it. It's rated to 125 degrees, so use a soldering iron over that temperature, it's going to pop the fuse, right? So what I do have are some of these connectors. Just terminal kind of spade auto connector. So I can crimp that. I've done that for thermostats. Not sure if that's going to be adequate enough. But I guess first things first, you want to get this bed. Sounds very, very shiny. I'll turn off this light. Difference that makes. I'm going to get some alcohol. Get my grubby fingerprints off of the side, hopefully. A little bit of still coming off of it. I do have a briar. Oh, push things down. Yeah, I'm sure wires catching whatever. So this is 3M 468 NP. I don't know a ton about the 3M ring, but I know they have different ones for different levels of temperature resistance. Fold it over. Not enough room for yes. He's still fairly strong. The heater definitely doesn't cover quite as much of the bed as some other ones do. I know there's some that typically go from edge to edge. I do have some silicone RTV sealant I can put on, but I feel like it's going to cause me to not be able to handle this for a while, so maybe I'll get everything hooked up, and if I feel that I need it, I can add that later and let it set overnight or there. Apply that. Yeah, back facing back. Some edges are recommended by some manufacturers. Formbot doesn't have any documentation, so they don't say anything about that. Thermal fuse requires an M2x8 button head. That's just barely wide enough to not have to sit there. I do know some people like to use thermal compound. I'm going to go grab that. I guess I should create a V8 back screen. So what do we want to use? We want to use some Arctic Silver, some Cooler Master. I've got some more expensive stuff somewhere upstairs, but we're going with Arctic Silver 5 Classic. I don't know how liberally to apply this. They say for a PC like a grain of rice. It doesn't say to use the washer. Down. Thermal piece sticking out the side. You know, one of those added values that LDO definitely has is bed being pretty much completely assembled for you. Get it? That would be a nice, pleasant thing. LDO build. It's always interesting to see what is worth it. You know, like people look at the LDO build, $650 to $700, maybe $800 depending on where you buy it. There's a lot of little, like all the what do you call it? Value adds kind of add up, and it's kind of hard to see at a macro level. But when you go through somebody doing the build, it kind of becomes more apparent. Renovate. What colors will you use for the LDO build? Funny ask. So. Got some polymaker. We've got some green and dark gray. And they're gold. And then I've got a bunch of MatterHackers black. So I'm kind of going for a halo style build with the green and the gold, and then I'll use the gray for some small accents, and then the black for kind of the main color. So we're going for like a Master Chief look. So MatterHackers, who sent the build over, the kit over, they don't have color options for the frame. There's only just black that they have. So I'm looking to try to pick up a set of green, a green frame, but they're kind of sold out everywhere. So we'll see if I can get that worked out before I start on that build. But now we need to get this snip connected in, so I guess we'll go with the closer wire. Get all of this out of the way. So we need to get these two connected. I'm trying to think of the best way to do that. Nice, interesting colors. Thank you. I didn't want to go with green or red or blue for this one. I thought for the next one, I thought it would be interesting to kind of go a little bit more multicolors and perhaps unique. So I can leave a lot of slack so that I have wiggle room to play with. And I've got this spade connector that I was planning on using to be able to crimp everything in. So maybe I'll just keep this long as it can be. I don't know, I don't want a whole bunch of excess stuff hanging off the bottom of the bed and wiring. It feels kind of permanent once you cut this off. Yeah, this will go into the Wago, and I'll snip this off. It will come out of the Wago, pass through the cable chain. This will get cut, goes to the Wago, out of the Wago. So should I cut these at the same length? That I need to get to reach the Wago. The bed's already in. That's kind of a funky thing to have to worry about. How do I know how long to cut these? Anybody have any sage advice on this? You don't need a lot of length whatsoever. So this is coming out and going into a Wago here. It's probably about a good length. I guess I would want to cut about the same length as this guy. I do have ferrules I can do. You don't technically need them from what I hear on Wagos, but I feel like that should be enough cable to have some wiggle room, right? Wire. These two go down there you go. I have to cut this, go into JST. Okay. Now I just these kind of come over here. It'll be tucked away enough. Did you say you're still planning on planning out a build, or did you put that on pause? You were looking at a Formbot V0.2, but I think you said you were just gonna hold off on it, right? If I do it this long, where am I gonna correct it? That's Alright, we're gonna go here now. go shorter later. I like these wire cutters, they work really well. Inexpensive. Trying to get dense enough that it would hold on. Which crimper should I use? Nowhere near. Shrink down that whole thing. Hey, how is it going? How's the Trident build going? Have you made any progress off stream, or are you trying to save everything for stream? Saving it all for the stream. I might beat you. I don't know. I've been going like multiple days in a row, and I know you've been doing kind of like a couple of times a week. So spreading out the goodness better than I am. Not sure I have the right clippers for this. Wiring is going to be fun. Yeah. So since I'm using the Kirigami bed mount here, it's about to probably the most amount of crimping I think I'm going to have to do. The Plyset kit comes with most of the wires pre-crimped, right? Just have to like run everything and maybe cut them down a distance. That did not work out. That just slipped off and completely ate my wire. Ha! You're getting a taste for it right now. Yeah, I'm getting a taste for messing up my wires. Yeah, the Pi kit is all pre-crimped. This came pre-crimped, but then doing the LDO style getting the LDO style Wagos connected is a little bit different. Just gotta run them like, yeah. Yeah, Wagos are definitely something a lot of the guys in the Voron community like to use for their electronics. Wires are thick. Alright, that feels good. Mine just runs wires to where they need to go. Makes it feel outdated for sure, but first one seems easier. Yeah, it takes away like a level of complexity. And I need to replace that fade connector I just broke. These were the best things I could think of in terms of getting this fuse connector in. Your bed, that was really cool that your bed has the thermal fuse already in it. That seems like a pretty unique thing. Well, some of the LDO zero beds come that way, but trying to get this sheet wire off. Sometimes be a pain. One way to find out. You can't let Steve and Pooch catch up. Steve Builds did started a Voron Trident build this weekend. You can't let them catch up. You got a good head start. Today they got their belts ran and they started on the Stealth Runner toolhead, I think. I caught their first one. You gotta hurry, yeah. Especially with Steve, he's got so much knowledge. I feel like Pooch is helping you to keep him slowed down a little bit. There we go. I lost my connector that fast. It's interesting watching Steve build. Definitely knows like all the ins and outs of the printer. And he's built them so many times, he really knows like where you min max and save time. I'm gonna go grab a lighter real quick. Get these that's didn't expect that. I just want to singe the braid a little bit. I don't know where I got this lighter from. That was ridiculous. Great idea with the camera slider. Thank you. I had one from when I used to do a lot of like product video and B-roll. And I actually stole the idea from another streamer where I saw him have it set up. And I was like, mine just sits in my closet 90% of the time. I might as well set it up and put the main camera on it. Probably not as cool as your like AI face tracking thing, which moves around. I don't think the right crimpers for this particular crimping terminal. I have a slider for my main camera, but I'm wondering what the lifespan would be if it's always running. That is a good question. I mean, it's a stepper motor on mine. Like if you look at it, it's a GVM, great video something. But it's like a NEMA 17 style motor sitting on there. And it's just kind of running, and you can put it in an auto loop mode. I've had it for about 3 years now. I haven't always used it on stream, so. Not sure if this is the best way to do protection or not, but thick wire, thick. Won't come out. That's the first. Okay, mine is enclosed, basically like a baseball bat style contraption. Okay, I haven't seen that style. What's up, Chris? Yeah, I was trying to figure out the best way to get this thermal fuse connected to the wire. I heard that you don't want to solder them because you can actually cause the fuse to pop prematurely. So I got like this basic spade style connector. I think it will work out reasonably well. It's definitely rated for above the wattage. And I think I'm just gonna put a piece of heat shrink over the whole thing. Oh, it doesn't want to come out. Most fun part of any build. Struggle bus. I do kind of like cable management. A lot of people think I'm weird when I do PC builds. I spend a lot of time on cable management. Like honestly, the PC build takes me like an hour. The cable management sometimes takes me like 2. I don't know, this is feeling a little funky. Not great. But I like the idea with a non-permanent kind of solution for this for the time being. That just feels bulky and unnecessary. Second guessing myself. I didn't want to go like directly here. I felt like that would be way too short. This feels way too long. Goldilocks and the 3 bears. Now we need to get this strip back to around 11 millimeters for Wago. This strip back to around 11 Wago. Ah, scratching my bed. Always such a pain to get stripped. I don't like having to do all this with the bed in there. I wish that they would have you check the bed after you get everything kind of wired up. It feels like unnecessarily awkward. All right, next step. Get cleaned up. Nearby, you're gonna have to go knock out cable chain. In 3x40, but what I've seen is that people have had problems with, if you use the M3x40, you actually start to hit the bottom of the plastic. So I will try M3x35. Couldn't remember if I unmuted myself after I sneezed. Had myself worried a bit. Yeah, Chris from CRYS from Living Room Workbench just did his 0.2 build a little while ago, and he used 40mm screws, and they actually went through the bed so much that they hit, and couldn't get all of it out. Nut. But I actually saw Steve a nylon. I think I have some. So the instructions say you can use a dab of red locker, but it seems like it makes a bit more sense. Just use a nylon. All right, sleep time for you. I'll catch you later. Keep on keeping on. Thanks for hopping in, Better. Yeah, I've got you subscribed to your channel, so I should get notifications when you stream next, and I'll be in there. Try to keep you entertained while you build. Thanks for hopping in. Have a good night. So getting these threaded through is going to be the frustrating part. Steve had a really cool kind of like through hole wrench thing that he used. But I don't have that. You don't know? This is not going to be powerful enough. Nope. Not really powerful. What about a ratchet screw? That's what I use it for. I couldn't remember today. I went back and watched your V0.2 video from a long time ago, trying to some of the secret tips and build efficiency. I almost feel like a little. Well, I had this. Just to get it started. One second. Yeah, that's not going to give me very much. It's going deeper than I thought. And now I have to start back to press option. Have some channel. Oh. Get that little broken adjustment. I don't know if this is going to be able to hold on to an M3 nut well enough. I mainly just use it to hold on to nozzles when I'm, or hold on to heating blocks when I'm changing nozzles. It might do. Very old and busted wrench, so for some reason I decided not to get could just buy a nice one. Oh, it's still kind of working. I'm gonna go get a better pair of pliers. Be right back. Need a max stance. See, I also have these. 5 or 6. Note to self, bad. Nice, pretty spinning tool repertoire. That'll work. I wonder if the ES screwdriver you have, Steve, will be. That's 6 is actually big. A 5 is small. Depends on the nylock, some are too tight. I watched Living Room Workbench. That should be 5.5, right in the middle. Right in between what I have, of course, right? Will it start to hold on to it with the 5? Just enough for me to... Nope. Oh, a little bit. I feel like the downward pressure is all I'm getting out of it. But... You just happen to have a 5.5 around, Steve? That's a typical RC sign. Gotcha. Hobbies converge. Okay, so then that's a little worse for wear, but it's always like amazing, even from working on cars, how much you realize having the right tool for the job is hugely beneficial. So I can start it with this 5.5. I have to go to sleep, but great stream. Thanks for hopping in, Renovate. As always, hope you have a good night's sleep and a good week ahead of you. Forearms are going to get a little bit tired. Practice a ratchet. Okay. 2 out of 3 done. Last one on deck. Got 2 pulled up. Cleaning session after this. Not what I need. Oh boy. I'm seriously getting the forearm pump from this. I do like the ratcheting action on this LTT screwdriver. Whew, almost there. But yeah, I've noticed over the years, I used to kind of make do with a lot of tools that weren't perfect for the job, and you notice that your results aren't great. But you don't want to spend $275 for a specific bearing pusher or something like that. You go back under the hood, under the car a couple years later and you see what you did when you didn't have the right tool and you're like, oh my gosh. Now it's like, do for you a favor and try to get the right tool for the job. Alright, let's clean up. Wire cutter. My locks more. Might need these anymore. Might need to switch headphones. Trash. Better away. I do like your setup, Steve, in terms of how you have kind of a good place for a lot of stuff, like your tools on that little back railing. Find my workspace kind of flooded with stuff sometimes, and I have to reset like this to try to things back to where they should be. Still gets so cluttered, yeah. I kind of like shut down when things get too cluttered. I can't see what I need. My Bluetooth headphones keep cutting out. Searching for a little better setup now though. I like the space in the other garage, but I have to fully commit to making it work well with all my extra fasteners stuff. Yeah, and you were saying today, if you moved all the stuff that's in the old setup over to the new setup, it probably wouldn't feel so spacious anymore. So we do need screens and or washers. We're gonna put our magnetic sheet after having just put the bed in. I guess there's a reason for it, because the heads are under here. I gotta go. Good progress so far. Thanks, Chris. Keep me updated on those on that printer build. Start sharing pictures or any build progress. Piqued my interest on the Voron build. That looks pretty good. I'm trying not to rush. Have a good night. I have this little brayer, sure how to say it, but doing cutting vinyl cutting. Can't speak. But it's come in handy for 3D printers for doing magnetic beds. I gotta say this magnet does feel pretty nice. I've gotten some in like the Creality ones. The magnetic sheet that goes down on their beds doesn't feel this good. Full cut. I just use one of those. I saw that today, I think. Figured that'd be a good spot to save stream time, yeah. Well, I saw it on your V0.1 build, or was it an upgrade 0.1 to 0.2? I think it was an LDL kit, but I saw you bust one of these out and then decided to grab mine as well. Now, if I have these nylox on here, Steve, do you think it's necessary to cut the holes for the screw heads to be able to access them? Presumably, I won't need to tighten them down anymore. They're pretty dang taut. Now we can start to try to figure out how some of this wiring can. Don't have to. Just a later disassembly thing. Okay. We'll see if future Brian gets upset at me making. For now, I'm gonna leave it off. We have 3 things we have to worry about going here. What about the spacers, Steve? I know in one of your builds you had some 3D printed spacers that specifically spaced this in the slot. Do you think that that's necessary anymore? I think you were saying that like V0.1, it needs to be further back for the carriage, and I think those are handy to have some on all my Kirigami installs. Okay, I will print some of those out and get them installed a bit later. I think now I just need to get this thermistor wire cut and crimped. Easy to install after everything goes together. Good to know. This I'll cut it to about the same length as the other wires. But I keep it. And strip it down. They'll go in. JS. All right. JSP 0.54. Look at what the letter corresponds to that pitch is. That pinched in just a little bit. Ah! Pinch are so tiny. I did last time. If my head's blocking everything or not. So much to think about when you're streaming and building. A little bit long. And that was not a good prep. What did I miss? I guess this narrow would say crimping ain't easy. Nine? Steve, do you typically use ferrules when you use Wagos? Or just bare stranded wire? You have been? Okay. Got some set out to the side there. If anything, it seems just nice for if you're repeatedly removing stuff, you don't have to worry about retwisting it. That one? Good one. 1.9 conductor. 2.2 installation. Worth out. Oh, solid. That did not pass the pull test. Super deliberate with that one. Hopefully it's a little bit better. Okay. I have been a little bit disappointed in. I thought the Kirigami Bed would have had a fairly established kind of manual by now. A super popular mod. It's not super difficult to figure out what's going on, but it's kind of multiple options for printed parts now. Oh gosh. Inside the helmet. wire is just a little too thin. Go. Get some barrels from these two wires. I'm not sure of the gauge. It's closer to 820. Height. Very expensive barrel crumper. This actually has been working out fairly well. I can hear my music coming out of the headphones now. I don't know why it stopped. And we already have two ferrules coming out these wires on the other side of the Vega chain. So next we're actually going to mount the bed. And springs. Washers. Oh. I don't particularly like the way I did this, but I used the connector I can disconnect, and I can find a better way to get this fuse connected and redo it later. Washer on here. Springs. Always the funky part. Bound to happen. How far did it go? And I get that a little bit lower, so I have. It's something my large hands kind of came in handy for. Holding on to all that. Fire down. Yeah. Done. I went with the 35mm screw because I just watched Living Room Workbench or Chris do his LDO build, and the 40mm screw ended up way too long. But before I do that, I need to do other stuff, don't I? I have to run the NeoPixel wire. It cable managed. I guess this is a more recent addition, this little cable guide. That leads right over to the chain holder. Got routing built into it. And let me go get zip tied. If I recall correctly, it's just this little through hole. Where is it at? Oh, that's open too wide. Come on. Okay, I feel like it came up. Around. Went back through. That somehow kind of got like a little funky kink in it. So be more careful. Started. Right. Down. Glad I didn't do that. Just went over. We're maybe before we get to that in, on the side. Again, getting messy. Show up on out. It's gonna be the best place to go up. Out. Way. What else needs to go up? Is that it? Heated bed wires, thermistor. And RGB LED. Which type of LDO we got? Mostly about just fishing the wire. The show. Nothing about thermistor. Will that help at all? 20. For some reason I feel like there should be way more wires coming out of the bed, but I don't think that's... So you got Wagos here. LDO one closer as being out. Alright. Oh. size slot. Guy will come to the top. I don't think that's slotted. Go around. And I wish there was a little bit of documentation. Kirigami Bed stuff. I haven't opened the CAD file. Maybe there's. Now we mount bed, then that's the way goes this. I should guess. Better. That actually works out easier than laying down. Right side back. Oh, you guys can't. A little bit harder when I saw stronger than I got in there. Well, I'm probably, well, really, I can probably find some nicer M3 unscrew. as I know that polarity is kind of involved. I don't think it matters. No live or too bad on well, together. Black. That's right. Now we need to get all these past cable chain. Which is where? So which one? Top has. So I need to put the vector one. Essential. Together. Right. See. Fishing some wire. Top. Oh, what up the back? Steve, I think my C920 is having some of the same issues that your, what is it, Dell camera is having. I keep changing all the settings and then it eventually kind of gets undone. Looks kind of over contrasted and over saturated. I'd like to find a better close-up camera. Yeah. I mean, streaming is kind of blown up, so there are a lot of products out there now for kind of specialized stuff like that, but I don't feel like I can justify using like a DSLR for every single camera angle in my setup. So this like a full camera would be too unwieldy, yeah. Down. Kind of a fine line between like having high quality visuals and good production value and also making it kind of manageable for yourself to be able to actually use, not being a pain. Oh, I didn't take out any links. I might do that. So the overhead cam is a Canon M50, which is a mirrorless, and it's got just a really cheap 10mm lens on it. So you might be able to notice some of the lines aren't perfectly straight in the overhead cam. That's because there's a little bit of fisheye to it, and I use a filter to try to get most of that out, but I haven't found a perfect kind of solution for that. So stuff that gets near the corner kind of fisheyes out a little bit. Then the main camera in front that I'm pointing at now is a Canon 90D, and I've just had that for a long time. Has 4K video. And finally, this camera off to the side is a C920 from Logitech. And it obviously has some kind of color issue, because I turned off auto exposure because it would just blow stuff out. Like right now when I had auto exposure on, it would just like anything that's kind of bright right now would just completely overexposed. So I haven't found a happy medium for it yet. Looking at this cable chain, I probably need to take one or two links out. Seems like it's a bit too long. I have the X gantry pass under it, right? Or pass above it. Make sure it clears the X gantry at its max. I'll try it. See. Probably squeeze the inner one close to ready. Well, I had it and fell off. Oh, that's pinched. Get out, get out. All right, let's take a look at it. Yeah, probably to have one or two taken out. That's... Oh yeah, whoa. Probably more than one or two. Well, I haven't had. Oh. Good morning, Chris. How's it going? Yeah. I need to this cable chain. The trouble. But we've got the belts on. Bed attached. I used 35mm screws to get the bed on. I know you had problems with the 40 being too long, so I was trying to avoid that. Do you recall which length of screws you ended up using? One off. Yeah, the 40 touched the bottom of the bed before the end stops. That's two off. I think I went with 30, but they were short. Didn't stick out below the nuts. I think 35 is the choice. Okay, hopefully that'll work out well. Okay. Pocket. I felt a lot. Like another. Dude, 4. Thank you for the insight. Hopefully it's gonna save you some time. There's 3 links off. The first 2. Tight. Yeah, this mat's a little distracting. The Formbot chains open. I had to insert a chain link after. Built-in was real pain. They do not open. They're just super basic chain links, so they don't have any snap open functionality. I would be surprised if LDO didn't use them, but somehow Formbot had a source for them that was cheap enough to use. I'm not sure I've seen any actually V0 size chains that have opened up. Have you? Might not exist in that size. The IGUS chains have an open. Oh, they have an opening. They don't fold open, but there's a slot that you can kind of shimmy them through. I wonder if that's a lot harder to injection mold. That's why the plastic ones don't have it. Topple. Straight down. Now I need to see about the strain relief, making sure the cables are passing through the middle. How does that look in terms of clearance? Like up here, seems like there's plenty of room for that. Just enough room. Fortunately, you don't like kind of stay, kind of hunch over like wish there was like a tab on just one end. That would hold it a bit more upright. The brand is PUND. And if you turn it around, it's still PUND. Interesting brand name. Where can I add a little bit of strength? Where's built in? Oh, have some right here. I want to feel tight here. Spots kind down here either bottom. The cable tie spot inside the blue string part. Let's see. Oh, here I already have one in there. Like right this. Did I do that right? I don't know. Have a cable tie there. I don't know. Should I have all of them bundled right there? Like cut this zip tie and then put all of them. I would like it if there was something that's like right here to tie everything. That would be a good spot. I moved all through the spot into the tie part at the bottom. So instead of coming up directly from here, kind of went back through here and up. That's not how LDO had it in their picture. I wish you could make their LDO bigger. I did this, I tied them all together coming out of here. Wrap them under. I kind of like your idea better. But it's probably going to take me quite a while to get that done. Potentially go around that whole piece. Might be a little unsightly. Add everything right here. Yeah, redoing the chain does not sound like a fun thing at this time. I feel like that should be enough strain relief. That be close to the foot. And then do you have anything down here that you could tie to strain relief? It's hot. I mean, you could go around the whole piece of extrusion, but I don't really know how the cable is going to get routed after. Hopefully that's enough length on everything. I do need to put the connector onto this heel tip side. Do they have the pen out? They do. Red all the way to the right. White, that's probably data, I assume. And I guess I could. Should I crimp these? Because I feel like I might end up just wanting to cut them shorter. They're not going to go through the umbilical cord or anything. I'm going to leave these uncrimped. I'll leave these unterminated as well. Do the wiring. I can figure out what I want to do. Get a little twist tie. Use that. No. Long enough. Put it all together in a little pigtail. Thing seems to move well enough. I might apply a little bit I put a little bit on. I first did the DXs, but all that much aren't Teflon, like the LDO. If the LDO are Teflon, ahead. It's definitely weird. I do think I have some empty thumb screws somewhere. I think I'm probably gonna replace the printed one with that. Doesn't look too bad underneath. In this area, maybe could have cut the cables to a slightly more optimal length. All the cables past the full test. Wish this didn't hold over. That'd be a good way to. Hopes that one's staying pretty straight up. It doesn't. That one. Yeah, I only have the one wire coming here, but it makes sense. It would have made sense if I would have brought all of them here now that I think about it. If I have to take it apart, I'll probably do it that way. Stay straight. You do your cable chain on the outside like this. That's how it was in the Kirigami picture, if I recall correctly. Yeah, it goes right next to the rail and then folds over and connects there. Whereas in other versions, it kind of goes the opposite way, right? I did use the thermal. I've done a different wiring. 0.1 had it the other way. Okay. I think we have enough room at the top. Comes close right here. Probably adding the 5mm spacer might help with the seam, but your chain new. Okay. So yeah, if it moved out a little bit, it probably wouldn't need to. It get pulled back by the mass of the chain. I'm probably gonna end up doing cable management. And that is the bed done. Next up will be the print head, but I don't think I'm gonna start on that tonight. Oh, is there anything to do strain relief on the bottom here that I'm just not, or will get attached later perhaps? Probably static. It's gonna get messy. Let me see, I guess I can get cleaned up and get prepared to do the print head. Get up all the trash. Change and spare parts thing. Where is the bed sheet? Pop the bed sheet on there. Not a super powerful magnet. Or perhaps the spring sheet isn't the most fairest, but I'll keep the cable management stuff over. Shouldn't need the briar anymore. Oh, Chris, I did end up using nylock wash or nuts to secure the screws to the bed. So I remember you were looking for them in your stream. I can't remember if you found them. Like, you thought they had some in the LDO kit. Did they come in the kit, or did you have to find your own? Oh, trash. You did the same. Vacuum cleaner out a little bit. They had some in the kit. My problem was I wasn't sure we're meant to be in that spot, but never had to. Gotcha. So I noticed the LDO 2.4 kit and the LDO Trident can't have a lot more like supplemental documentation that tell you like, oh, instead of doing this on this step, do this. But it doesn't seem like the 0.2 at least has quite as much of that supplemental information, showing you all the differences between standard, manual, and theirs. Maybe their 0.1 does have all that information. I have 0.1 documentation other than the Kirigami stuff. That. So let's see, over on the table, I still have a lot of panels, all the skirts and panel mounts. The Hotend stuff. I still have not looked at the differences in the mini stealth burner cooling to determine if it's 100% something I want to reprint. I also don't think my prints are going to be as high quality as the PIV prints, so they probably won't look as good. I downloaded the legs, and I plan on reprinting at least the one, but maybe all four. Because I think they said they made the legs 2 millimeters taller. There was a change in the idler of the mini self burner. Okay, so next we're going to be doing the head mini self burner. Oh shit, they are taller. The old skirts fit. That's a good question. So it's now the main branch. So not like a release candidate anymore. Live. Hipster. Fix the motors. Fit the machine. Oh, so it's only for 34 millimeter. Apparently, if you didn't have the right size motor, then they wouldn't fit underneath the legs. Right? Is that what they're saying? So certain motors were taller than feet. So they increased the height of the skirt / feet by 2 millimeters. We added a simple filament runout to the rear right foot. Full head. Mini stealth burner, direct drive, and Bowden howling part. That's approved. So here's the default one. So this is where the trinkets go, right up front, and then this is the lower part. I don't know, can you maybe use some kind of a spacer? Or redo the part so that it's not too, like, cut out 2 millimeters? Yeah, I think I might fusion the 2 millimeter way. If you look at STLs, there's only the new ones here now, I think. Oh, so there's a plain and a filament runout. Oh, wow. I hadn't looked at it yet. What is the... Just like a micro switch? It looks like we're a micro switch. I don't have the CAD installed, or I don't have Fusion 360 installed on it. I guess a micro switch sits here, and ball bearing and tube coupler. Interesting. Filament comes in there, pushes down on the ball bearing, and then the tube coupling comes down and pushes the micro switch. Okay. Just, it looks very distinctive and different than gold. I wonder where the best place to remove the 2 millimeter would be. Ball bearing, same as here in this. Okay. Any recommendations? Anything I can do prepare for printing out or for putting together the tool head? I've got a bunch of different versions of the folder. Got a Revo, Dragon, CR10. Because I think stock. I think this uses the Dragon mount. It's got 6 different. The holes will line up. Maybe it's just 6 of them so that you can do 2 different orientations. That way or that way. Alright, let's get where it should be. Get rid of anything. All dead stuff. Stuff can go away. It is fun to see parts, less and less parts on the tables. I need to make a rewrite back screen. I can bring some of the electronic stuff over. I'm trying to figure out what else I want to do in what stream, or how many streams I might have left over. Tool head will definitely maybe its own stream. Tool head, electronics, wiring, skirts and panels, top hat. I feel like it's not likely I'm going to get the tool head and the electronics and wiring done in one stream. Skirts and panels aren't necessary to start getting printing, and then the top hat isn't either. Maybe 2 to 3 streams left. 1.5. Another half for 3. Oh, that might be 4 streams. I do like 2.5 hours to 3 hours of stream. Not sure. I know Steve got the kind of latter portions of the stream or the build done very quickly. But yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and call it for today. Electronics also includes software setup. Yeah. So I was pretty worried about the belt. I'm still not sure I got all of the tension correct on it. I'm sure I'll learn over time what the kind of correct tension should be. And if my prints come out all wonky, then I'll know for sure that I need to change some stuff. Yeah, overall, running the belts wasn't nearly as hard as I thought. I think the tensioning and getting them equidistant was a little bit more of a trouble. I have them cut fairly short. I can cut them a little bit more flush in the future. The bed wasn't too bad. The electronics was took me a little while. Not super happy with how I have the one connector from the thermal fuse into the lead that goes out to the board, but I can make do and redo it later. Yeah, pretty satisfied with where we're at right now. I think the first two streams, getting the beginning part of the frame took a little while. The next stream to get the whole frame just really felt quicker. And then the next stream I got so much done, it was crazy. And then I think it slowed down a little bit again. But pretty happy with the progress so far. Pretty happy with the printer. It's starting to, I mean, it is a printer right now. It's just not a printer with all the pieces. Whereas before it just looked like a whole bunch of extrusion and some linear rails. Now it's starting to feel like an actual thing that will be pushing plastic hopefully in the next week. But thank you to everybody who tuned in. Thanks to Steve. Thanks the Living Room Workbench. Chris popped in. Who else was here? Scroll up. Renovic was in here for a little while chatting. So thanks to everybody who's been coming to any of the streams. 3D Print SOS was also in here. He's building a Trident right now on his channel if anybody's interested in checking out that build. Kind of the opposite side of watching Steve build. It's a complete novice building mostly on his own. So I don't know, it's kind of fun to see people at different experience levels go through the same build process, in my opinion. You can kind of learn what's kind of a little bit more difficult than people may think. You see someone who's built several of these go through things and they're able to just move through stuff, and maybe the instructions aren't perfectly clear, so a person who doesn't have that much experience might get caught up a little bit more and stuff. So I just enjoy watching people build printers almost as much as I like building printers myself. So everyone have a good night. I'll see you soon. Peace.